My name is William Joseph Luczynski. I'm 21 years old, and I was born male at birth. Well, the way that my mind worked was differently than everyone else's. When I was told to divide up into the groups for the little boys and girls at the daycare that I was at, I was constantly going to the group with the little girls in it. And the daycare, the den mother, told me that I needed to go with the boys and that I was a boy. But it didn't feel right to me to say that I was a boy. It's like something fell off about it. So I would have fights with the den mother about which group I was supposed to be in. I was raised by a single mother and in a Roman Catholic family, Russian, and it was strict. And even though I knew something was off with myself, because I was taught things at such a young age, self-loathing came into effect as I grew a little bit older. When I was little, I would look at myself in the mirror and I would absolutely hate my body. I would hate everything about it. And when puberty set in, all I could do was look at myself with disgust. So one day, I foolishly decided that I was going to take a knife and cut off my penis. And to this day, I still have the scars left down there from when I tried to do it. I took the knife and I was cutting into it. The only reason I stopped was because it was bleeding way more than I thought it was going to. I started to panic. I would abuse myself in ways. When I was younger, I didn't have a lot of options with how to abuse myself, so some of them were rather creative ways, but I always managed to hide them from my parents. There was a little bit of abuse, and it was only after I tried to come out to my family that there was any abuse. It was verbal and it was getting physical before I made the decision to leave home. The night before I ran away, I actually stayed up the whole night, and I asked myself to list the things that I would be giving up when I ran away from home. There were very few shelters that I could go to because I didn't feel comfortable with giving out too much information to them. So most of where I stayed was out in parks or alleyways. There was a small alleyway in South Boston that I called home for the longest time behind a dumpster. But most of what I did was dumpster diving and moving from street to street. Park benches and streets I called my home for quite some time. I don't even know where to start on that one. If it was a drug, I used it. Coke, weed, I mean, you name it, I probably used it at one point in my life. And yes, I am clean of it now. I've been 3 years clean. now. I can credit my girlfriend for helping me. We haven't been together that long, but she shows me that there are people out there that aren't going to judge you and hate you, and they can love you even if you are a little bit different. Eventually, I'll get around to having my own family. Just probably going to be a little ways down the road once I've learned to love myself a little bit more than I do. 3 months ago that I was able to officially say that I started with the hormones. I was so excited when I got to start on the hormones. I marked it down on the calendar, I put it down on my phone, I wrote it down on pieces of paper over and over and over again. It was the best day of my life. It was like having a new beginning. And after everything that I've been through, it was like I could start over my life again and actually feel the way that I felt I was in the very beginning, but had to hide it. I do plan on having surgeries, and I've had talks with my doctor about it, and we're hoping after I reach the year mark on hormones that we can schedule some of the surgery appointments for me that would, in my eyes, help me complete the transition that I started 8 years ago. I'm going to have the bottom surgery, and I could possibly have the facial feminization surgery. But I'm curious to see exactly what the hormones will do to me before I decide on anything other than the bottom surgery. I have this image of the dream me where I don't have any masculine features and people don't see me as someone that was masculine before. And I'm about the same as I am now as far as body type goes, but I'm more beautiful and my face is smoother and my hair is longer, and I'm the typical young girl that I didn't get to be when I was younger. And I guess most of all, it's just the dream that I wish I had a Cinderella story where I could have that one thing happen where people would view me as myself, and I could see that final image of how I view myself in my head. Anyone that's just starting out their transition, it's going to be hard. That the trials that you go through are going to test you, and they're going to see how strong you are, and if being yourself means as much to you as it should. And for me, it took me a long time to find that inner strength to accept myself and to be myself. But when you do, it's the greatest feeling in the world to accept yourself for who you are, and other people aren't going to accept you if you don't accept yourself.